Well, my name is Christopher Bulett, and today I will be discussing topics of how leaders should act and things that come along with it, and answering some questions for Week 10. So the first question is, how do leaders utilize the unique talents of different team members? And I think that leaders utilize the unique talents from different team members by using it to the team's advantage. I say this because when you allow your team to use the talents they have and don't restrict them, you'll have better outcomes. This can bring more resources and allow teams to get creative with one another. Also, I think that leaders know that using these talents to their advantage will provide more efficiency because, let's face it, if more people are working together, more work can get done. And also by utilizing their teammates' talents, it's allowing them all to perform at the top of their skill sets, therefore getting the maximum performance. And essentially this will give you better results as a group, all in whole. The next question is an Intro to Leadership, Chapter 7. It talks about group rules and norms are stressed as being very important to effective leaders. Do you agree with this? Explain your answer. So what this question is basically talking about is standards. And I do agree with the chapter, mainly because this gives a team an understanding on how to act in certain situations. This is how a group ultimately functions. And the next question is briefly comment on your own desire and ability to adapt to the rules of the group. I would want to adapt to the rules of the group because, they're put there for what I would hope to be the team's success. And obviously, if there wasn't something I believed in, I would bring it up because I'm looking out for the team's success. And also, if everyone is doing their own thing, then nothing will get accomplished successfully. Also, the chapter argues that setting the tone demands that the leader be a role model for how group members should act. So in addition, it's important that leading by example and following the rules and norms. Also, what 3 values are important to you in a group? Starting with ethics. If you're the only one personally gaining from the situation, also, is it at the expense of another? And if so, you'd want to benefit from questioning your ethics in advance of the decision. Those are all the questions you need to ask. Is this being accomplished or is it not? Also, behavior. You need to help identify behavior, whether it's ethical or whether it's unethical. And last not least, I like to call this benefits versus burden. If the benefits do result, do they outweigh the burden? So how would you demonstrate these values to group members? I would demonstrate these values by making sure that we are acting in an ethical manner. I would want the entire team to benefit rather than one individual. I would do this by having everyone work together as a team and help each and everyone out. So I would also look closely into behavior. I would make sure that our entire team was looking out for each other and our company and our vision. If an individual was creating a problem for the team, the situation would have to be assessed. If everyone's doing the right thing and one individual is threatening that, then there needs to be changes made. You don't want this to start reflecting other people's performance and other people start becoming negative, and then before you know it, you have a catastrophe. So, also, finally, I would make sure that the benefits outweigh the burden by making sure that decisions are implemented that are not only for the team, as I stated, but I wouldn't want the group's respect for myself to be in jeopardy over something ethical. So, they're relying on me to make decisions for the better of the team, and they're relying on me to help them out. So I wouldn't want to put that in jeopardy. Lastly, in Wisdom of Failure, Chapter 10, it talks about self-absorption, sense of entitlement, and sense of infability. How do you plan on avoiding falling victim to these traits? And I think that you have to be humble. Let's face it, in today's business world, and keep an open mind. I feel that this is the primary way you can avoid falling victim to these traits. If you're so self-absorbed, then in my mind, you don't really care about your team, and there are no standards for your team in your workforce. And finally, people want to feel appreciated and also be able to turn to you as a leader. So I think these are really important questions, and a lot of this is what leaders do face, and it's not easy. It's not easy to stay on track and to constantly be positive and keep your team motivated. So at the end of all this, you have to kind of question yourself: are you prepared to take on a leadership role after answering these questions? Because this is a small part of it. But I enjoyed answering these questions, and I hope I was able to teach everyone a little something about this. So thanks for your time.